For this homemade BB gun, materials you will need are a bike pump, any design similar to this will do, some rubber bands, most thicknesses are fine, a small bolt, some high tension springs, or it can be one spring if you want, some washers. The washers need to be able to fit on this dowel, which you also need, and your dowel needs to be able to fit in the bike pump like so. You also need some scrap plywood, bigger, thicker wood, which has to be 3 centimeters wide, thinner pine, this is Tongan grooving, and you will also need some longer wood, which also must be 3 centimeters across. You will also need some panel pins, some screws, a longer piece of pine, but which is very thin. Also, the outer section of a pen, which has a 6mm bore. Cut the stock into your desired shape. Make sure you leave 5 centimeters along this part here. Cut the longer piece of wood to 65 centimeters. Next, cut the Tongan grooving to 25 centimeters long. If you are using Tongan grooving, cut off the Tongan groove. This should leave you with a piece of wood approximately 8 centimeters wide, or 3 1/8 inches. Now, cut the Tongan groove in half. Now, you need to get one of the half of your Tongan groove and nail it in using a panel pin. Use 2 panel pins for each side of the stock. Also, the Tongan groove half has to go 5 centimeters into the stock. Repeat the process again for the other side. Repeat the process again for the other side. Now put the longer wooden piece on the other side where the 2 pine halves meet, and nail it in again. Repeat this process to the other side. Using some of the scrap wood off the longer piece we cut earlier, cut 3 centimeters from the end. Drill into the cube you made with a drill bit that has a diameter 1mm bigger than your dowel. Don't drill all the way through. Next, cut your dowel to 30 centimeters long. You need to get the cube you made with a hole in it, push the end of the dowel in it, and then line it up with the 2 ends of your pine Tongan grooving, and get a panel pin and nail straight through. There, so it goes through the top, in straight through the dowel and the bottom, and it goes into the stock. This is what you should end up with. Now, using a coping saw, cut out on the scrap plywood your trigger mechanism using the measurements shown on the screen. Your trigger should look something like this. Drill your hole the same width as your bolt. Next, you need to put the trigger mechanism where the hole is 10 centimeters from this end and 1.5 centimeters down. And then get your drill and drill right through. Your bolt should now go through one side of the pine, through the trigger, and then you should be able to push it out through the other side. Then put the nut on and tighten. Using some of your thinnest pine, cut out a length and put it in front of the trigger to stop it going too far forwards, and secure with panel pins. Now, what you have to do is put on your springs. You can put on as many as you'd like, and obviously it determines how powerful your BB gun is going to be. Cut your most thin pine to 35 centimeters. Then get your thinnest pine piece and put it where the two pine slats on either side end. Then secure it with panel pins. Your gun should look like this by this point. The next step is to put the bike pump on top of the gun, slide it back so the rim is behind your thinnest pine slat, and then secure it with two cable ties. The next step is to, using the glue gun, seal the barrel on the end of the gun, making it completely airtight. This is what it should look like after the glue is on. The final step is to put elastic bands around the trigger until it will be able to hold back the force of the spring piston. Here you have the finished homemade BB gun, single shot, very high power.